Look, this is conspiracy posting from me, but I think it's more likely than not. You know, Occam's razor shit, or Occam's razor. I think that the reason why we had that kerfuffle previously with the Epstein files leaking early because they were already archived online, just without a publicly listed URL, and the fact that you could uncensor them by copy and pasting them, like the black highlighter just needed to be circumvented. I think the reason that happened was because there are people in the DOJ and FBI who hate Trump and want to do a bad job censoring these files. Like, I do not believe that anyone who works at the FBI or the DOJ does not know how to censor a file. I just don't, I don't believe that. I do not think that any of these people would be put in front of a computer and would use black highlighter in a fucking, in Adobe Acrobat or whatever, you know, and they would be like, yeah, that works, that's fine. I think it's malicious compliance. I think they deliberately fucked it up. So, so you're saying the deep state is fighting back? I mean, I would argue that the deep state has changed positions, okay? What was once the deep state is now the high up state, and all the corruption is so out in the open, you can't even call it the deep state anymore. Like, oh, did you know that Israel colludes with the FBI and the government and Mossad to do shady shit? Yeah, we know, they tweet about it. Did you know that Trump is handing out pardons to anyone who offers the money? Yeah, I know, he tweeted about it. Okay, did you know the Pentagon just awarded a $500 million contract to Eric Trump? Like, just flatly giving nearly $1 billion to the president's son. Yeah, I know, it's public info. Like, what deep state? It's all very obvious, frankly. Apartment complex, I find it quite simple. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, you know, maybe now we don't have a deep state. We have the deep, like, bureaucrats who are just tired of this shit. And we have the very openly corrupt state, you know? Either or, one and about. Anyway, if that is the case, though, it would not surprise me if the FBI and the New York prosecutor's office is to some extent, because the prosecutor themselves may be a Trump stooge in the District of New York, but that doesn't mean everyone working in their offices. It's kind of easy to imagine, right? Like, imagine that the DA's office in New York, the federal DA, they're sitting on like 1 million files in Epstein, and a bunch of the clerks and like orderlies and people who work there are like, we fucking hate this president. Hey, all these files, we have all these files. And they go up to their boss and they're like, look at all these files. We have these files. We have to turn over these files. And they're like, no, shh, we don't want to look at those. But they make enough of a fuss about it that it kind of has to be like forced up, basically. These people were probably the ones forced to look at the CP. It has got to be like really bad for your mental health to be an agent of the FBI whose job was to trudge through the insane amount of like child sexual abuse material and whatever the fuck else you had to review relating to Epstein, and then it all gets ignored. All of it gets buried because the president is one of the co-conspirators, you know? Like, that's got to piss you off, right? It wouldn't surprise me at all if there are lots of people at the FBI and the prosecutor's office who are who want to see this blown open, you know? That specific job has a very high suicide rate, like the feds who look through child sexual abuse material. Yeah. Like, no, it really fucks you up mentally for reasons that are probably pretty obvious. But yeah, high suicide rate, mental health problems, like they're big thing. So imagine doing all of that with regard to Jeffrey fucking Epstein, the most notorious child sex trafficker in American history, and then all of it gets shelved. All of it's like, nope, sorry, we can't. Donald Trump's the president. Can't do it. Sorry. I'd be pretty mad. Be a little peeved.